warm welcome to join us for this edition of AN English News with me, Muhammad Harif Tufan. At least 8 Afghan National Army service members were killed and injured during military operation in Afghanistan. According to a statement issued by the Ministry of Defense of Afghanistan, at least 2 Afghan National Army service members were killed and 4 others were injured on Abi district of Western Herat province. The statement further added at least 2 other Afghan National Army service members were killed and injured in a separate incident at Khas district of Eastern Kunar province. The statement also added Afghan National Army soldiers seized some weapons and ammunition during the operation. According to Coalition Security Forces officials, a NATO service member was killed following incident attacks in Afghanistan. International Security Assistance Forces officials, following a press release on Friday, announced the NATO service member was killed in southern Afghanistan on Friday. The source did not provide further information regarding the exact location of the incident and nationality of the deceased soldier. At least 37 coalition service members have been killed in Afghanistan since the beginning of 2012, including 29 US troops, 3 British and 5 other coalition soldiers. U.S. Embassy in Afghanistan welcomed the decision of an Afghan government to postpone the responsibilities of the Bagram prison. Bagram prison, located in northern Kabul and is under the control of U.S. troops, was due to be handed over to Afghan security forces based on 1-month ultimatum by Afghan President Hamid Karzai that was completed a few days back. President Karzai also orders to recall prosecutors and investigators from Bagram prison until the government receives the responsibilities from U.S. troops. Afghan coalition security forces captured a Taliban leader during an operation in Nadali district of Helmand province. The statement further added the leader used super specialized weapons to conduct direct fire and roadside bomb attacks against Afghan security forces throughout Marja district. The statement also added 1 additional suspected insurgent was detained during the operation. In the meantime, combined Afghan and coalition security forces discovered an explosive cache during a patrol in Kajaki district, Helmand province. The security force destroyed all explosive and IED and components on site without incident. The Human Rights Watch has recently published a report that shows unaccompanied children aged between 16 and 17 years are being deported back to Kabul by UK's border officials, where they cannot find their families and face a horrible risk of destitution, violence and recruitment into armed forces. Children, including Afghan, who often travel to Europe, especially Britain, without parents, are vulnerable to exploitation and take on dangerous work to pay their way for hope to find better life and have a brighter future. Not only Britain, but also Norway, Sweden and Netherlands are involved in a European platform addressing the issue. Iranian semi-official news agency reports that the Hamas Prime Minister of Gaza has arrived in Tehran. The visit may be an attempt by the Palestinian militant movement to avoid snapping Iran, even as it cultivates ties with the wealthy. Friday report by Fars says Ismail Haniyeh will meet Iranian leaders, despite what the agency claimed were efforts by Gulf countries like Qatar, Kuwait to stop the visit. The Syrian government and opposition have blamed each other for 2 bombs targeting security compounds in the country's second city, Aleppo. State television said at least 28 people were killed, including civilians and members of the security forces. Armed forces gangs were responsible, according to state TV. The rebel-free Syrian army said it had clashed with security forces in the area, but that the government was behind the explosions. Also on Friday, U.S. Ambassador to Syria, Robert Ford, condemning the use of heavy weapons against residential neighboring in Hamas, calling it a new law for Assad regime. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and Allah Hafiz.